Right, so, okay, we're on. Okay, I'm on this video thing again. Right, I have had a few requests from people suffering with their backs and with their sciatica, so I'm trying to help out with this. Okay, it probably be quite useful for anybody with backache, but if you feel like you've got like some pain going down through your leg or a niggly pain into the side, these exercises will more than likely be useful and helpful for you. Now, what we got to remember with pain, it's so different for lots of people. Okay, so what's right stretchy wise for one person might not work for the other person. So maybe you have to play about with these exercises, maybe you have to play about with these stretches, and just keep your fingers crossed that at least one of them is working for you. Yeah, and what I would recommend highly for people with sciatica pain is if you have a strong door frame, strong enough for you to hold yourself up and just literally just release and just hang down. Yeah, just release your hip down. That's normally one really good release and stretch for sciatica pain. Now, it could be at the beginning of sciatica pain, it could be you've had a niggle for lots of time, of years, many months, whatever. You know, you could have been suffered for 10 years plus. Okay, so like I say, the pain is so different for many people. So I'm going to show you a few different stretches that I find helps with sciatica pain. I have sciatica pain occasionally, so I can relate with the pain, but like I explained before, the pain might be different for some people. Okay, so what works for me might not work for you. Okay, so I'm trying to help you out as best as I can. So in a seated position, sitting on a chair, okay, if I'm sitting onto the side, try and not use the back of the chair. If you need to, you can do, but try not to use the back of the chair. Try and use your core as the posture relator, if you like. Okay, it must be worse then, sorry about that. So flexing one foot, perhaps you might see it better actually if I'm this way around. So flexing the foot, yeah, that's touch better. Okay, so flexing the foot across towards the other thigh, making sure that bottom foot, the knee and the ankle is in line, making sure you keep good posture, and then pressing that knee down. Okay, so this is my right leg. If you're suffering with your right side, yes, of course, spend more time on that right side, but I would always suggest to do both sides. Okay, so swapping over, and you can spend a long time here. I feel this stretch is really working into the niggly bit between my hip, my bottom, my back. Okay, so about pressing the knee down, and if that's too much, you ease off. Okay, so you've got to manage it yourself in this day and age. Okay, so strengthening through the center, lengthening through the crown, flexing the foot, and then pressing that knee down, and that's getting that real good stretch into the glutes, down into the hip, opening the hip up. Yeah, and that's one of the things that you're wanting to try and achieve with sciatica pain, is to open the hip up. Okay, try and breathe, try not to tense up in your shoulders, drop your shoulders down and release. Okay, and I'm going to show you a couple of stretches on the floor as well. So even if it's pain on one side, try and do the stretches on both sides. And then coming down onto the floor, I'm just going to make sure, I'm just going to pop the tripod down onto the floor so that you can see me doing those stretches. Just going to adjust it a little bit. Okay, I think that's better. Okay, so what you're wanting to do is again stretch the glutes out. So coming onto your back, making sure that your lower back is pushed into the floor, making sure that your head is down, and then again, same stretch as we did on the chair, flexing the foot towards the opposite shoulder, bring that knee out. Okay, and you can stay here with the other foot on the floor and just forcing that knee out. You might feel that's enough. If you want a little bit more, lift the other foot up, Okay, and then see if you can bring the right knee. So left leg is bent here, left foot is flexed towards the opposite leg and thigh. Bring the right foot away from the floor. If you suffer with your neck, keep your head and neck down. So you can go there, and then you can turn the foot on the outside a little bit more, and then with your elbow, bring the knee towards your chest. So that stretch is all of a sudden changing, doing me loads of good. Okay, I should do this a lot more. So pressing the knee towards your chest. And I know when we do this stretching class, some of you are feeling it a lot more going this way. Some of you can't feel it here, but when we turn it and bring the knee the other way, you're feeling it lots more. So it's so individual. Okay, and remember, don't just do it on one side. Come across and do it on the other side. So flexing the foot, lifting the other foot, and you want to get that lever effect, yeah? So my right leg is bent, my right foot is flexed onto the left leg, left foot away from the floor. Thread your arms through if you want, one between your legs and one on the outside of your left leg, and then pull that left leg towards you. Same time, try and bring that right knee away from you so you get that lever effect, yeah? And that's going to alleviate pain in your back, into your glutes. Okay, and if you're struggling, if you're not feeling that so much, maybe you want to angle the foot. Maybe you want to bring the knee in instead and pull it towards you. Okay, and that other leg, watch it. Okay, you can do whatever you want. You can keep the foot down, you can bring it a little bit higher. Neck is hurting, you're bringing your head down. Okay, so it's all about working with it. And in class at the moment, from here, we're dropping down, okay, with the foot in that position. And that's a great sciatica relief as well, for most people, okay? So remember, whatever you do on one side, even if you're suffering with it just from one side, try and do both sides, okay? So that's what you can do on your back and in a seated position. And I know the swan position or the pigeon position is great for most of you as well. So extending one leg really long behind you, bending the other leg, flexing the foot, yeah, making sure that toes are up on that leg that's bent. And then you either stay here and stretch out, but that might be too much, okay? Maybe you want to feel the release and coming down, yeah, into swan, or what we call sometimes in class ugly duckling. Okay, relaxing the head down, breathing, and then you can explore. You can thread one arm under the other and bring the ear close to the floor. I'm going through this quite quickly, okay, but you want to probably hold it for a little bit longer in each position just to see what it does for you. So from here, there's no real right or wrong. You can swap over from side to side, and then obviously coming back up, pushing up, and equally pushing your hips to the floor, and then releasing and coming the other way. Okay, swan position is really good, but you've got to make sure the front knee is safe. So toes are up, foot in the groin, and then climbing back down. Now all these stretches are fantastic, okay? There's lots more that you can do. I would say more than anything, it's all about opening your hip. Opening your hip as much as you can. The frog stretch is fantastic for that. And how do we do the frog stretch? If the knees are okay, we do it on our knees, we do it on our front, we climb down and we come down here. And instead of bringing the weight forwards, we bring the weight backwards, yeah? So pushing your hips behind you. And that's giving you a real good stretch on the inside of your thighs, and they are very much related with all of your hip here, outside hip and also sciatica. Try and relax your shoulders here, taking a deep breath in, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And there are quite a few stretches that you can do, okay, but I would say these ones are the better ones if you're suffering with your back, if you're suffering with some sciatica pain. I will go through some flossing with you if you're up for it. I just need to do that in a separate video because it can be not complicated, it's just different. Okay, so that's your releases. If you're suffering with your knees in that position for the frog stretch, simply come down onto your back and bring it into a happy baby position. Yeah, so you can extend your legs all the way up, then you bend, and from here you put pressure onto your knees as much as you can, and you open your hip this way. And if you can, you might feel like you're lifting your hip here, positioning the hands on the inside or the outside of your feet, and then making sure that you bring your tailbone down. So you're positioning your spine down onto the mat and relaxing your shoulders, and that's a real great release for the hip. And if you can, gently rock side to side here. It's a great release for the back, for the spine, and I'd like to think it's helping to relieve sciatica pain as well. So hopefully you find these stretches useful if you do them. If they help, if they don't help, I'd like to hear from you. I'm here to support you, help you, and guide you as much as I can. So I'll speak to you soon. All the best and take care.